Former President Donald Trump has shaken the world stage once again with a bold and controversial move. On February 1st, 2025, he announced new tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and China, sparking immediate reactions from global markets and political leaders. This decision has sent shockwaves through the global market, causing significant volatility and uncertainty among investors. Many experts fear a potential trade war, which could have far-reaching consequences for international trade and economic stability. Trump made the announcement from his Mar-a-Lago club, a location that has often been the backdrop for his major policy declarations. He claims these tariffs will curb illegal immigration and drug trafficking, presenting them as a necessary measure to protect American interests. The move has been met with skepticism and concern from various quarters, including business leaders and trade experts who question its effectiveness. The world watches with bated breath, as countries affected by the tariffs prepare their responses and potential retaliatory measures. Will this be the start of a new global trade war, disrupting supply chains and international relations? Or is it a strategic move by the former president, aimed at reshaping the global economic landscape in favor of the United States? Trump's primary justification for the tariffs is national security. He has repeatedly emphasized that the safety and well-being of American citizens are his top priorities. By imposing these tariffs, he aims to protect the country from various threats that he believes are exacerbated by international trade practices. He argues that the influx of drugs and undocumented immigrants constitutes a national emergency. According to Trump, these issues strain public resources and pose significant risks to the nation's security and economic stability. The administration believes that stricter trade measures can help mitigate these problems. To address this, he invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA. This act grants the president broad authority to regulate international commerce in response to unusual and extraordinary threats. By using IEEPA, Trump can take swift action without needing immediate congressional approval. This allows him to impose tariffs unilaterally. The administration argues that this flexibility is crucial for responding to rapidly evolving threats and protecting national interests. The tariffs are substantial. Mexico faces a 25% tariff on all imports. This is intended to pressure the Mexican government to take more stringent measures against illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Canada faces 25% on most goods, with a 10% tariff on energy products. These tariffs are part of a broader strategy to renegotiate trade deals that Trump believes are unfair to American workers and industries. China, already subject to previous tariffs, will see an additional 10% tariff on its goods. The administration contends that these measures are necessary to combat what it views as China's unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. Critics argue that these tariffs are more about protectionism than security. They claim that the tariffs could harm the global economy and lead to retaliatory measures from other countries, ultimately hurting American consumers and businesses. They point to Trump's history of using tariffs as leverage in trade negotiations. By imposing these tariffs, Trump aims to bring other countries to the negotiating table, hoping to secure more favorable terms for the United States. However, the long-term effectiveness and consequences of this approach remain a topic of intense debate. The international community has responded with a mixture of apprehension and anger. Canada, Mexico, and China have all hinted at retaliation. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has vowed to respond forcefully and swiftly. These tariffs could have far-reaching consequences. A trade war between these economic powerhouses could disrupt global supply chains. This could lead to price hikes and shortages worldwide. The situation remains tense. The world waits to see if cooler heads will prevail, or if a full-blown trade war is on the horizon. While the geopolitical ramifications are significant, the impact on everyday Americans is also concerning. These tariffs are not just numbers on a spreadsheet. They translate into real-world consequences for families across the country. The tariffs will likely lead to higher prices on a variety of goods. Everyday items that people rely on, from groceries to household products, could see noticeable price hikes. Consumers can expect to see increases in their grocery bills, gas prices, and other essential expenses. This means that the cost of living will rise, putting additional strain on household budgets, and the cost of imported goods. Items that are not produced domestically will become more expensive, affecting everything from electronics to clothing. The tariffs could also impact American jobs, especially in sectors that rely heavily on international trade. Manufacturing and agriculture are particularly vulnerable, particularly in manufacturing and agriculture. Farmers may find it harder to sell their products abroad, and factories might face increased costs for raw materials. The full extent of the impact remains to be seen. Economists are still debating the long-term effects, but the immediate consequences are already being felt. However, one thing is certain: These tariffs will have a tangible impact on the lives of ordinary Americans. From the prices they pay to the job opportunities available, the ripple effects will be widespread and significant.